Well, hello there from Central Virginia. I'm sitting on this beautiful December day on my front porch, and I have just been out gathering some greens, and I'm going to start making a garland for my front door. Now, I'm going to need to make a 22-foot garland, but I'd like to document how I go ahead and do this. I like to make things out of natural materials that I find here on my property in Central Virginia, and it takes a little bit of a labor of love, but it's really not all that hard. You're just going to need some greens of your choice. I'm using cedar and I'm going to use some pine, and I'll probably embellish it with a little bit of boxwood here and there and maybe a couple of sprigs of holly for color. And you'll need some twine, some things to be able to tie up your garland. I have a variety of things. I have hemp, some hemp rope, and I have some fishing line, which I'm going to try to use because it's invisible. The only thing about using something like fishing line is I like to be able to throw this into the compost or over the fence after Christmas, and having something artificial like this makes it a little challenging. So my first choice is going to be to go with the natural hemp, so I can just pitch the thing and make it totally sustainable. I also have some wire, which will definitely come in handy here and there. So that is what I'm going to do. Let me show you the materials that I've gathered so far, although there will be more. Here's the front doorway, and you can see that I want it to go all the way up to the top and sort of have a swag across the top and then come down on either side. Here I've gathered some pine and some cedar, and I've begun to lay out the first 9 feet of this garland, which will be primarily, the base will be cedar, because that's what I have a whole lot of, and I also love the way that it lays. This particular project is it's 9 feet up to the top and then about 4 feet across, 4.5 feet across, and I want to have some swag in it as well. You got to have your Christmas swag, you know. I have laid out 9 feet of this, and I've begun to tie these on. Now, this one is a bit wobbly, so I'm actually going to put another tie right here to secure these 3 a little bit better. It behooves you to pick up your garland every now and then just to see how things are fitting together and if they're fitting together. I'm actually even going to add another one in right here. The key is really making it as secure as you can, binding it tight, and it'll be fine. I have left these up in the winter, during bad windstorms, and it has been fine. So tying it on, concealing it, really getting the tie pieces down to the wood instead of the leaves, because the leaves will dry up and shrivel, but the stem is generally going to stay pretty tight. There we go. That's in. That's better. All right. So we're here. I have done about, probably 3.5 feet already. So maybe this won't take me quite as long as I think it will. All right. So we're on to the next bit. Here's a piece. I'm going to put this into this section right here. Pre-cut a few of these. Putting this one into attaching it to these. So around once. Sometimes it's a little hard to see, and you got to be careful not to let it stick you in the face. I've had that happen, and that doesn't feel very good. Okay, so it's around once, and then I'll wrap it again. So it's on there good and tight. Around it goes again. Double tight. Oh, the cedar smells so good. It's just lovely. I know it's juniper, not cedar, but we call them Virginia cedars, and they're really, I'm told by Sage, it's a juniper. And he tells me the berries are edible. He's trying to get Reed to make some beer. Reed's thinking maybe some mead. I have a very useful husband. You can see how this is being tied down. Over here, we have several pieces tied together, right? So you just put them every so often, incorporating the new ones as you go. If you find that one hangs down a lot like this, hanging out the way, you can take a piece and just put another tie on if you want. These ties will get concealed. I'll be tucking other things into this, like a wreath. Okay, now this one's kind of big and chunky. I feel like I've got air freshener all around me, except it smells much better than just something air freshener. It's real. It smells real. Now, if I find that this is kind of wobbly, once I get it up, I can fuss with it a little bit more. Okay. All right. You can see I have the first about almost 11 feet, and it stretches pretty far down that ramp. And so at this point, I have 14 feet of this made. Now I'm actually going to do the final 9 feet hanging in the other direction. So when it comes down from the other side, the branches are all swooping down. So here is the end of these. Go this way. And so this is going to hang down the other side. And so I'm going to just put these on hanging this way. All right, so I've got the garland made, at least initially, and now I need to embellish it.